Hey, Janette Barber, Daily Woodie, New York City. You can hear a siren. But every time I hear a siren now, it doesn't sound as nice as it did before. But anyway, I'm out here in the woods. Look what I found. It's a coconut, a piece of a coconut, which I think is weird because there are so few palm trees out here. I thought it would also make a nice bra top, but there's only one. But for that one girl with the Uni Boob, we have got a real fashion idea. So don't freak out that I touched it. Don't worry, 75% alcohol. There it is. I'm wearing my new glasses again. I love them. I got them from Lensable. I was talking about that on the Absinthe Live. So these are vintage frames, fabulous Fannies on East 11th Street. So it's new stock vintage frames. These are from the 70s. So, but I got transitions again because when I ordered these, I didn't realize I would be sitting out in the woods talking to you. But I've got another pair that I'm going to send away. They're big, they're fabulous, and there's a story behind them, but I'm not telling it yet. I will wait. I will wait for that. Don't worry, I'm scratching my head, but I just used the hand sanitizer. I like that you're watching out for me. So this morning I tried a Zoom thing. Not a Zoom thing like Christine I Can Do It Mollering was talking about, where we could all talk together. It was a writing thing. But I thought I was going to throw up. Way too much movement, because every time, apparently whenever you talk, a new person's face jumps up, and you can't count on people to stay completely still as if they had been mummified. You can't count on that, and so it makes me vomit. So, because I get really motion sick. Although in India, I don't know if you saw the picture when I was in India, I tried these really weird looking glasses, which I didn't bring because I didn't think I was gonna, well, you know, I often don't think. You're welcome. And I really do think that they made a bit of a difference. So maybe there's some hope, but I get sick. I get seasick. I get incredibly seasick, and yet I worked cruise ships. I know cruise ship is a horrifying thought right now, but I worked cruise ships the summer of '95, and it was because in the beginning, in the early '90s, the comedy boom collapsed, and like 75% of the clubs closed. And I was a road act. I used to spend like 40 weeks a year on the road. So, whoa, what are you gonna do? And I was at the Strip, and by that I mean the comic strip, one night, and it was a horrible audience. And some of this, sometimes in the city, you know, you got 4 people, nobody's laughing, and you know, you'll work the crowd or you'll try out new stuff. But I was a road act, and a road act, you get really trained differently because they're paying you, and if you don't do it every single night. So I would do my act no matter what. And afterwards, somebody came out of the showroom to talk to me. They were there from Carnival Cruise Lines. They hadn't told anybody they were going. They didn't set up an audition night. And the reason that they booked me was because the crowd was absolutely impossible, and I just stuck to my material. I didn't say, well, I don't know how not to. Because I was not a loose comic at all. This was my act. Here it is. I'm leaving you room to laugh. If you choose to, this is up to you. I can't help you. So I got booked. Now, but I got seasick, and I said, you know, to everyone, I said, but I get seasick, and everybody goes, boat that size, you're not even gonna feel it. So, but I need the money. So I flew to Barbados, take a cab to the boat, I walk up the gangplank, or whatever it's called, literally at the dock, I step on the boat, and I go, oh. Because it was my first time out, so they put me on the smallest ship. It was the Minnow, the smallest possible ship. It was actually the Festivale, little tiny ancient old lady boat, and the room that I was called a fly on, because some acts live on a boat and some fly on, fly off. So I was fly on, and my room was, I think, next to the propeller. And if you get really seasick, you can't go under. You can't even go below deck. So I like ran down there and ran back on deck. And I only did 2 shows. The night that I got on, the boat takes off at 10 o'clock. And I go on and the show starts at 10 o'clock. And I guess I went on at maybe 10:45. And all I'm doing, I'm sitting back there going, you know, just swallowing, going, I can stand it. And And I go out and I do my show, because there is the thing, you can do it no matter what. You know, we've all read stories about the people that go on, do their show, come off and drop dead. They didn't drop dead any sooner because they were on stage. Had they gone over their time, they would have lived longer. You can do it when you're on the stage. And then I got up and I went onto the deck and I slept there in a lounge chair because I couldn't go down to my room. And for 4 days, I stayed on the deck in a lounge chair, and the boat was wallowing. It was just not a smooth sea. But I don't know why, because I'm literally sitting there, trying not to move. Then I have to get off the boat to take a car to get car sick, to take a small plane to get air sick, to take another cab to get some more car sick, and I was getting onto the Tropical, the other small old lady ship. And I was supposed to, like, 2 hours early, and they were pulling up the gangplank. So I run and I get on, and at this point I'm kind of acclimating, you know. So if I move my whole body and not my eyeballs, just don't move my eyeballs at all times, it's like, this is, I can do this. So I go down to the crew mess, which is what they call, you know, where you eat. And I'm sitting there and I hear somebody talking about the hurricane, and I go, ha ha, no, not a joke. No, that's why we were leaving the dock 2 hours early, because the hurricane was coming, Hurricane Allison, and we had to be at sea for the hurricane. So I also had the wristbands, and I can't take Dramamine, and I didn't, now I know about meclizine, and Bonine is meclizine. I didn't know about it then, because I didn't bring anything, because everybody said, you're not going to feel it on a boat. So the boat starts pitching. It really, you know, and it's there were 30 to 50 foot waves. And there were 2 shows that night, and it's getting worse and worse. The dance number was canceled, not because it's impossible to dance, but because 2 of the dancers who lived on the boat couldn't control the vomiting. And I started taking Dramamine. You're supposed to take 1 every 12 hours. I think I had 1 every 2 to 3 minutes. And I had these things on, and I kept tightening them. And the boat is pitching, and the hurricane is raging, and I'm ripped now, you know, because I am so drugged on the Dramamine that it doesn't occur to me to fear death. And I still have to sleep on deck in a hurricane, because I can't go down there or I'll die. So around the pool, there was like this little lip with like a little roof. So I'm on a chair, just sitting there wondering if I'll ever wake up again before I pass out. And every time I did wake up in the night, I would tighten my wristbands, tighten them. Maybe this will help, those pressure points. Well, I woke up once and the boat was pitching like this: up, dump the pool down, up, dump the pool down. And I went back to sleep because I'm so drugged on the Dramamine. Then I don't know how many hours later, I wake up, the hurricane is gone, people are out at tables having breakfast. There's the homeless person, which is me, with my hair up in knobs, you know, filthy, and my hands are swollen so much you can't tell that I have bones in them, because they had swollen to baseball mitts because I kept tightening them. So that was fun. I had a really good time on that ship. And I eventually got to the point where, although it didn't feel good, it didn't feel bad. And I worked the ships the whole summer. And I wouldn't like to be on a cruise ship as I wouldn't want to just go on one, because I don't like things like, you know, other people and group activities and buffets, which are lethal, horrible things that they do to people because they want to make you fat. I don't like any of those things. But what I did like was knowing where the secret doors are to go into the bilge of the boat, where it's all pipes and weird stairs, where you get to go if you work there. And I liked getting to meet the people that worked on boats, because people that work on ships, pretty much all of them are running from something. There's something strange about all of them. So that was really fun. And then Rosie got a show and hired me, and actually said, damn, this is good. Damn, there goes my boat jobs. Meanwhile, I'm hired on, you know, the biggest hit in the world. So, you know, that just goes to show. Oh, well, I guess I will just take my unibrow and go, because we're out of time. I've touched it. I'm going to use the sanitizer again, don't you worry. See you guys. Share it if you like it. Bye. I'm waving with my Uni Boob. Bye.